Okay, we just got an interesting piece of news here. The plot is really starting to thicken, and this is something that we have to talk about. So the Almighty Tales channel has just reported on this, and it's basically a Q&A that SEGA Sammy had with investors to update them on the current situation regarding SEGA. If you don't know who SEGA Sammy is, they're like the parent company that owns SEGA. So the title of this article is SEGA Sammy expects Sonic Prime to strengthen Sonic IP as pandemic slashes Sega's release schedule in nearly half. SEGA gave more details in regards to how it's dealing with the pandemic, as well as its expectations of Sonic Prime. As the end of another fiscal year approaches for Sega's parent company SEGA Sammy, more details related to how the company has dealt with the COVID-19 pandemic and how it's dealing with Sonic Prime, the upcoming Sonic animation, have been revealed. In a Q&A with investors following their latest financial report, SEGA Sammy was asked to explain the effects that the pandemic has had on the company. Senior Vice President Yoichi Owaki admitted that their release schedule of video games suffered a setback. It was projected last August that 30 new titles were to be released by this March, but they are now expected to release only 18 titles, nearly half than originally thought. The major factor has been delays in development, especially in the US and Europe due to the impact of lockdowns. Side note, I don't really know how much of the game development is currently happening in Japan versus the US with regards to Sonic games, but it's worth noting that they didn't say Japan. Almost none of our employees have been able to commute to the office, and this is a big impact. It was disclosed that SEGA is still in the middle of formulating their plan for the next fiscal year's lineup, so not much information was able to be shared. When asked about Sonic Prime, SEGA Sammy said they won't have direct financial gains from it, but it will be used instead to bring attention to the Sonic property and its multifaceted rollout, strengthening it. About Sonic Prime, we're not thinking of monetizing by itself. Our stance is to implement the Sonic Prime as part of strengthening the IP. As SEGA plans their lineup for the next fiscal year, more news related to the next main Sonic the Hedgehog game will eventually, we don't know about that, but anyway, there's a lot to unpack here, okay? The first thing is obviously the games. SEGA the company said last August that they were gonna have 30 games released by March, and they're saying that's been cut down to 18. Now, given that there's like 15 days left in the month, and they haven't revealed a Sonic game, I guess whatever the Sonic game was supposed to be was probably one of those ones that was pushed back. Now, they didn't say when it's gonna be pushed back to, so I don't know if it's a year or 6 months or whatever. We don't know if we're gonna get a game by March and now we haven't got one. Were we going to get a 2020 game after all, like 2020 November, and then we didn't get one because of this delay? I don't know what the situation is on that, but clearly games are being pushed back at SEGA. So this is the first confirmation of some kind of delay. Like, we knew that the pandemic would have some effect, but right now the question is still up in the air as to how big of an effect. Are we still gonna see a 2021 Sonic game, or is it gonna be a 2022 game at this rate? They said almost none of their employees were able to commute to the office, and this is a big impact. I mean, other development companies have figured out how to work remotely, but of course we like to make excuses for SEGA, so clearly they're not able to do that. Maybe they don't have, the internet or laptops that can work on development remotely, or Zoom, I don't know, but other companies are making it work. So if SEGA can't do it, then that's a SEGA problem to me, but nonetheless, they say they're working on it, so we'll see what kind of effect this has. All we know for certain right now is that there's a confirmation of delays regarding these games, and I kind of just want them to just be upfront with us. Like, this is a press kind of thing, this is not to the fans. The Sonic Twitter is, posting memes as usual. I just want them to come clean and be like, are we getting a game this year, or are we gonna wait longer? Like, just tell us at this point. I'm tired of like having to go back and forth on this shit, and there's a panel for the comics, there's news about Prime, there's news about the movie. Just say point blank, will we get game 2021? Will we wait till 2022? Like, just say it, because I'm tired of wondering. I just want to know if it's 2022, then cool. Then I'll just have to sit back and just wait, and at least we know that it's gonna be a painful long wait. But at least if it's 2021, they could be like, yes, game is coming this year, we'll reveal something in the coming months. At least we know, like, just give us that update, and then we know what to expect with regards to this year. I need to know if I can go into 2021 as a Sonic News year, or should we go into the year as another 2020, basically another year of drought. Like, just enough with the games, give us the update. Okay, maybe enough with the games was poor choice of words, given that that's kind of what I want to hear about. Actually, that's a good point. Games, if we're getting 2 games, is one of them going to come out this year, maybe one next year? I don't know, but I don't know the situations. I'm tired of speculating. Just let us know, okay? But there's also something else you have to talk about, and that of course is Sonic Prime. Now, this Sonic Prime thing that they mentioned is either really good or really bad. well, at least in my opinion, to you it might be good either way, but they basically said that profit is not their main priority with Sonic Prime, that they are basically doing Sonic Prime as a way to strengthen the IP, I guess get Sonic more talked about. Now remember, Sonic Prime is a Netflix show, right? So maybe the budget is going to be high. Remember, it's a CGI, it's a 3D animated show. Maybe they're finally superseding the quality of the Boom TV show, and now we're going to get something closer to that Sonic Unleashed intro style CGI, and they're going to go all the way ham to promote their shit. So maybe they've accepted that they're not going to make much profit based on what they project to make from their cut versus how much it's going to cost to produce the show. They've said it's not really about the profit, it's about getting it out there. It's going to be on Netflix. Netflix are probably going to push the fuck out of it because it's their show, and that's going to get more people seeing it. You know, when you go on Netflix app and they just promote something new, then you're like, okay, I'll watch that. You already have a Netflix account. That's going to get more people talking about Sonic because they're going to be like, oh yeah, I watched the movie when it came out, it was good, let's check out this Prime thing. And of course with the movie sequel as well, like if they're going to watch the movie sequel, we don't know if Prime is coming before or after the movie. We know the movie is April 2022. Prime may come right after it, and people like might have just finished watching the movie sequel and they go, oh, they got something on Netflix, let's check it out. So they're using that as a way to strengthen the IP, and not necessarily as a get rich quick scheme off of the Prime itself, but from what they can make from that Prime. The reason why I said it could be good or bad is because it depends on what their strategy is with this. Good would mean that they're going to use this as a way to promote the games and say, hey, you liked the movie, you liked Prime, check out this brand new 3D Sonic game that we got and it's looking hot right now, you should cop that shit. Or that adventure remake, you know you love that adventure, right? Like, you know you love that adventure. That would be a good way of, using this strengthened IP. But what they probably will do, and this is why I said it could be a bad thing, is they'll just use it to sell merch, and then that will be their thing again. It's just more merch sales, and then the game falls flat, and it's like, we don't care, we got Prime, we got the movie, Prime promotes the IP so that we can sell Sonic Prime merch, and then we are rich. Like, remember, merch makes a lot of money. Like, people spend a good amount of money on merch, just some expensive merch. I got a Silver the Hedgehog statue that costed hundreds, like, and it lights up and shit, like, shit's really cool. But the point is, that was more than a $60 purchase is all I'm saying. Like, and obviously not everyone's gonna buy that, but over time, people spend a lot of money on merch, and Sega are going to latch more onto that if the next game doesn't live up to the standard. If we live in a world where Prime does well, like it's doing well on IMDb, like the ratings are good, people are watching it, and the movie sequel does well, and the comics are doing well, and all these things are doing well. If they drop a game that doesn't do well in terms of sales, in terms of like critical acclaim, then they're going to be latching even harder to things like merch as well. Like all this licensing stuff is going to get even stronger. So I guess only time will tell how this goes. Obviously, as long as Prime is of high quality, and as long as Netflix pushes it harder than Cartoon Network pushed the Boom cartoon, then that means that it's going to do only good for like the visibility of the Sonic brand. But how they use that visibility, of course, that's up to Sega. So we'll see what Sega does with that, and we'll see again how this delay affects the release of the next game. But again, it's time for them to tell us things and not these Q&A with investors and shit. Like, treat the actual fans with some respect and give us some shit directly. Like, here's the situation, Obviously the Prime thing, there's not really much you have to say to us, but like with these game delays, you would expect that we would have heard something along those lines of, if our game has been delayed, like when we should expect to wait, but it is what it is at this point. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. Do you think we're still gonna get a Sonic game in 2021, or do you think it's gonna be a 2022 wait at this point? And what do you think about this Sonic Prime news, that profit is not their goal and that they're trying to strengthen the IP to do something else or make some more money with the strengthened IP in the long run? But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Remy out.